y'all, I'm back with Change the Culture, and I'm sitting here with a very special guest. He has 10 jobs, no.
120, I'm like a Jamaican.
So, yeah, we're sitting here with the co-founder of 40 Tons, as well as the chief marketing ambassador of 40 Tons, and soon to be author of his new book that'll be coming out soon. What is the name of your book?
Look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes. Corvain has just an amazing story, and that's why I had him come on. Can you tell us about your experience? What happened not too long ago that landed you on the news, on interviews, everywhere? It was the buzz on the streets. What happened?
In the last, I believe in the last 2 minutes of Trump's, while he was in office.
Donald Trump,
Donald.
ex-president of 45. What number was he?
He's going back up.
It was. What number was he? I don't even know.
He's going. Yeah, he's going again.
He's going to be negative.
Yeah. He's
negative 40.
So Trump is going back in. So in his last 2 minutes in office.
Okay.
That's what makes it more critical. That's what makes the story more.
Amazing.
More amazing.
Trump was literally on his way out of office. Look, I don't even want him to tell. Let me tell the story. So basically, Trump was on his way out of office, and we all know that we had such an amazing experience in time with Trump in office. Yeah. So as he was exiting office, everybody thought he was leaving. His last 2 minutes,
he gave me clemency in the last 2 minutes of his office. So I was serving life without the possibility of parole. I was due to never come home from prison. I was due to die in prison. And he signed this one little piece of paper. It's crazy how one little piece of paper or one little signature can do this. And in the last 2 minutes of office, that's what he did for me. And me and my family and me and my kids, and I got to reunite with them. It was
that was amazing. So here you are serving a life sentence, which means literally you never thought that you would get out of there, because life is life. It's pretty much.
But one thing you have to do is anybody that's serving life, right? That key word you just said, that you never come out. Never say that.
Never say never.
So like you always have to walk by faith and not by sight. So you have to stand on it. And what I did was I stood on it. I said I'm coming home. I never said that I was going to die in there, because once you say it, you're going to wear it.
Right.
So now you're going to wear it on your face. You're going to wear it in your hair. Your hair is going to turn gray. Your whole
but how did you even like what put you up on that? Because a lot of people, they just accept what they think it is, but you had something that in you that this was like, I'm not going to say never. What was that?
It's just the faith and growing up in church. So I got to get that to my granny, because my granny is the one who like introduced me to faith and going to church and paying your tithes. And even when I sold weed, I still paid my tithes, right? So it's like once you have that, and then once you know how it works, it's like you really can do anything that you want to do, because you can just say, hey, I need this, or I want this, or and once God sees that you're walking out on faith and that you're dependent on him for it, he'll just do it for you. So it's like,
ooh, that is amazing. That is just profound in and of itself, because that's just a whole bunch of wisdom right there. When you're going through something, never say never. Don't write yourself off. Don't write somebody else off. Right?
Never, yeah.
Because maybe, I don't know, I was raised a little differently, but I probably would have just been like, wow, like
some people
this is it for me.
I've seen a lot of suicides there. People didn't even have a life. They might have like going home in 5 years, killed themselves. So it's like, you see that type of stuff and see that people die and people killing themselves and people just losing faith and just think that you're going to die in there, because it's not like you're at Disneyland, so you're at a maximum security prison. You're there with 100 to 300 other people that are not going home. That has already accepted that they're not going home, that they already live here. So
I'm sure the majority of people probably just rested on the fact that this is it. This is a wrap. I don't know. Was there a lot of people in there that were positive, like I'm getting out, I'm going to get out, that had life sentences?
You got a few positive people. People, but you got a lot of negative people. You got a lot of negative people. And you're in a room in the feds, you're in 50 states in one room. It's all 50 states. It's somebody from each state, from all around the world. So you're going to have to deal with a lot of different stuff that's going on, and a lot of different mindsets, and a lot of different attitudes, and a lot of different things, right? So
energies.
the energies are very, very different in the feds than it is in the state. The state, everybody's used to. Let's say you stay on this block, so everybody's used to the people on this block after you get used to them, right? Or let's say this is the neighborhood of this gang or this gang, right? But when you're dealing with the feds, it's all the gang, right? Or all the politics,
everybody's
or all the, so that's what makes it different. So it's like you're gonna become a man. Like, you're really, really, really gonna get tested to the test, because nobody cares that you're from LA and that you think that you're cool.
Right. Whatever you were then, it's not going on.
That stopped today. You got this khaki suit on just like me. Right. So like nobody's gonna appraise you. You're gonna have to earn your respect, because they think that they're somebody from Texas. He thinks he's somebody from Alabama. He's from Louisiana. He thought he was somebody on his block.
Right. Up there.
And New York, Washington, D.C., whatever, they all thought that they were somebody from their block too. Right. So you're gonna have to, you're gonna become a man.
So it's a whole new world going on.
No, it's a different world. It's a different world.
Right, a different world. I'll say it like that, because new sounds too positive.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, just for those of us that need a little clarity, because we're kind of slow sometimes and we're not real used to this type of thing happening all the time. Clemency. What does clemency mean?
Now, clemency, a lot of people think I got a pardon. Pardon is
that's what I've been saying.
When you're like completely exonerated from the crime, like it never happened. Right. So let's make it clear to everybody that's watching. A clemency is that the time does not fit the criteria of your crime. Right. So a life sentence does not meet the criteria.
I see. It's too much for
weed. You feel what I'm saying? And they're selling weed on
like, how did you get life for weed?
So go on and let him out, and go on and let him live his life. But I'm still on 10 years paper. I still have to fly to New York for podcasts, and I'm getting honored for an award, and I have a lot of things that's going on in New York. My fan base is actually bigger in New York. So I have to go to work, but you got to get it cleared from your PO. You have to.
You still got to report.
You have to report in where you're going. What's your ticket? What are you going for? So that's the difference. It's like you're still on parole, so you still have attachment. When I get pulled over, I still got to get in handcuffs and get out the car. So it's still, you're still not free.
Not 100%, but
no. Every time you're pulled over, you have to get handcuffs on you.
Every time.
And get humiliated and get out the car. It's not just get pulled over. Where's my license registration?
Is that why you don't drive on the freeway?
That's not the way. The freeway. That's gonna be in the book. That's that happened in 06. Had like a little accident, but
okay. I'm so nosy. I want to know everything. Why did she drive on the freeway? But no. So okay. So I'm glad you clarified that, because I literally was saying pardon when I was using the wrong terminology. So clemency, I understand, because you were in there for how long?
Actually, I did 9 years total.
So you were in there for 9 years. I mean, to me, that's too long for weed. But I'm glad that got honored in that way, and you were able to get out. Tell me about the process of when you were in there and found this out, or did you have an attorney? What was going on?
Well, we had obviously 3 attorneys. Like we got the first attorney, fired the first attorney. We went to trial. She was like an ex-judge, so we thought it was going to be like, but it doesn't work how people think it works. Like, really, you're fighting the government. It's a fixed thing. So I wouldn't care what attorney that you had in the feds. Like, you feel what I'm saying? The ratio of you winning, it's really going to be low. That's why it was so big when Irv Gotti did it, right? You feel what I'm saying? They had a lot of good documentation. They really needed. It's not the lawyers, the lady that was working for Irv Gotti that saved all those receipts and saved all even when they were gambling, she would write it down. So that's how you beat the money laundering charge. But it's really, really like a fixed fight where you can't win, right? It's like the way that it's, once you physically go to a trial, you're looking like, damn, I could have saved all that money, right? Or you could have saved all that time, because it's like, it's not going to help you, right? It's not the way they have it designed. It's for you to lose, right? And then, especially with hearsay being admissible, like in the state, you can't just say hearsay. You just can't say, "Oh, you stole that picture on the wall," and now it just gets put into court,
right?
Like, it has to have some evidence and something behind it. But in the feds, you could just have a bunch of people, and they could just come out of nowhere that you've never even seen before one day in your life. Like, I've never even been to North Carolina. I feel, to me, I'm just like, I'm the kind of hustler that was like, if I need to meet you or we need to do all this, then you're not the person for me.
So how
Let's
did
just
you
get to
talk
this money.
to him? Just like
You just talk to them
you
on the
just
phone, but I'm
knew
saying
him from the
actually
phone?
physically meeting the people in North Carolina. I seen them at trial. I
Never
never
even
physically
laid
seen
eyes
them.
on them before until
And
that.
they don't even care about. They can say that on the stand and still say like, "Yeah, we've never met them." But so how did you know you were talking to me?
Right.
You feel what I'm
Interesting.
saying? Like, but they don't care about that. I've never mailed any weed. Right.
Mhm.
I didn't have to get the money back because I had somebody getting the money back,
Right.
and I've never been to their state. So of course I'm going to trial. What actually did I do?
Right.
So that kind of like really makes you into being the leader, right? Because like they never caught you doing anything. I've never got caught doing nothing.
I don't understand how that makes you be the leader. Like,
because they're just going to point the finger at you and say, "Well, you
everybody that
organized
did get caught is going to point to
and say that you organized it, right?" So then they put you, and that's where that stems from.
That's crazy. Wow. So yeah, North Carolina threw me off a lot. So let me tell you, for the people that don't know, like Corvain and I know each other from being kids, and I don't like to date myself too much, but I have a 26-year-old daughter, and she was literally not even 2 when Corvain moved in to our home. He and my sister were dating. We all lived together for a little while, and when we were living together, I had my baby and I became a single mom really quick after I had my child. And so I don't know how important you know that you understand you were to me at that time, but you were the man in our house, and I had a relationship with Alexis, my daughter. And it was just that part of my life was really special to me because she really looked up to you, interacted with you. You would give her $20 for every time she knew her phone number and stuff like that. I mean, it was just like we had a tight bond from that time. And I believe you did your house arrest.
Yeah, I did my house arrest.
Which strike was that?
That was, that's when I was like doing like white collar crimes.
So there was no strikes.
There was no strike.
There was no strike. So tell us the strikes. What happened? First strike was
okay.
what?
One, it was just really dumb. Both of them were really dumb. I was coming from the Lakers won a championship. That's when we was hanging with Trevor and we went to the game. It was like in 09, right? So we're coming back from the game. I literally can just pull up. I don't know why I want to have fun so bad, but I could just take the weed out the car. I got some pounds of weed in the car, right? So we go to this when they got club area on La Cienega. So we come back from the club, right? I'm speeding and I'm mashing down La Cienega, right? I got drunk and I'm speeding. So when they pull us over, it's my homeboy and there's 2 girls in the car. But I'm not the type of person. I always took my own licks. Like if I did the crime, I'm going to do the time. I'm not taking nobody.
You don't want
down
nobody to be in trouble because of you.
Not in trouble because of me, right? So like when they say, "Well, do you have anything in the car?" Right? So I'm like, "Well, shit, you got to search the car." I'm not immediately going to tell you that, you know. Right, but if you do find it, I will stand up to it. You feel what I'm saying?
Hopefully
so like,
you don't.
hopefully you don't. I don't know. I'm drunk. I don't know if you're going to find it. So anyway, he finds it.
Right.
So now I gotta say it's mine because he's like, if you don't say it's yours, everybody gotta go to jail.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
so
And everybody, you know. So I'm like, I stand up to it. I don't think it's done. I think I can fight this whole thing, right? So not too long after that, I fight that case for a little minute, but they're mad about some other case. So they're like, you're gonna have to do like a year for this, right? They bring this up at the trial, like this is in the trial because in the they call it a drug dealer's checkbook, right?
I'm learning a lot, y'all.
In the car, but they went all the way back. This is how the feds work.
Oh, like how you write your balance your books.
Balance like this nigga owed 9,000. He owed 8. Like I had that in the car, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna get pulled over and go to jail. Yeah, I have it in the car. I need to keep up with you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Wow.
They find that, they bring it into the trial. They bring that police officer that pulled me over, and he said that a trial. So they're tying it since they don't have really anything on me.
Oh wow!
They're tying this to the case because I have like a dude's name
like evidence
on there. Like, okay, he did in 09. He got put over, and he had a drug dealer checkbook. They owe him $36,000 and blah blah blah.
Wow.
So they bring that up. It played in trial. I get called. I start selling like lean, so I got called a bottle of lean.
Okay.
Right. So I said, well, fuck it. I just go do the year. Because they like, we want you to do a year because you got caught 2 drugs. You got caught the lean, then you got the thing. So I go turn myself in and go do the year. That's in 2011 during the time the feds is building the case. At the time, I'm sitting on the bunk I don't really talk to the people that's in the conspiracy no more, but they had already got caught in 2010, right?
Okay.
So when they get caught in 2010, I'm like, oh man, that's like, I don't know how the feds work. I don't know. I thought that if
Right.
you got
Who would know all
19
that?
years,
Yeah.
I thought that you were just doing your time. Like, damn, that's some real shit. Like, you got 19 years for the weed.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know that you can get time in the feds and call the DA and tell your time down. Like, I don't know anything about this. Like, because I'm
He
not
can
doing.
snitch your time
You
down.
can
That's what
snitch
you're
your time
saying.
down. So he's building the new case. He's building conspiracy. So at this time, he's telling me. But in the same token, I'm just like, I had just experienced a year being away from my family. At the time, they said he got the guy, kids were in the foster home, and they took him and his wife. I'm like,
Oh
as
wow.
trying to be a real nigga, I'm like,
Wow.
well, let me go look out
Because
for
that's
him.
pretty crazy, right? Oh my God, your kid.
Let
He
me
went
go
on
get
hard
your kids
times.
some clothes and all
Yeah.
that. So
So
like
you being the dude you are,
it
like, let me
was
help.
really, really hard
Uh-huh.
because what I did was like I didn't really know how to find him, but I did know that his homegirl worked in at like the Hill Street downtown,
Mhm.
right? So I was like, well, let me just go to every floor until I like find. I remember she worked on
Because
each
you're
floor.
trying to help.
I'm trying to help. I'm really trying to help.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I go to every floor until I find her. So she's like on the fourth or fifth floor. Boom, I find her. She's like, oh, that'd be perfect. And she give me the number,
Mhm.
and then you can contact her, and I give her a couple hundred right there and tell her like, yeah, send that to them real quick and
Mhm.
tell me to call. So
Wait, at this time, had you already did the time for the lien and all that
I
type of?
just did the time. So now I'm out,
Okay.
but I don't know the feds building the case.
You're
I'm
out.
good.
They got a case. You're like, oh, dude is in trouble. Let me go help him. I'm fine.
Let,
Okay, I'm
let
on
me go
you.
help
I'm
them.
with
So when I go do
you.
this, I'm telling on myself, not telling on myself, but I'm finna tell the feds where I'm at now because the feds don't really know where
Right.
to really find me at this point, right? So when I write him the letter, he gives
To
it.
the jail.
Hey, hit
Mhm.
me up. I already knew something was weird because I'm like, who's in jail right now? If somebody be like, I got 1,000 for you and your family, whoop, and I want to give you kids, and then they don't contact you back. Like that doesn't
Uh-oh.
normally
That
happen to
don't.
somebody that's in jail. That's like a lottery
Like you
ticket in
can't
jail
wait to hear from some. Yeah.
to hear from somebody, right? So like he'll never
Mm.
call back, right? Or he'll never call the phone or nothing. I find out during trial that he didn't gave the letter to the feds. They didn't let him leave the jail, go to McDonald's to go because some kind of thing is not working where they can map quest. Right, so they're showing them how to get to my house and all this type of shit. Right, so I'm like, damn, this is vicious. He let this nigga out the jail, 19 years to go get the MapQuest to come
I'm not
get
even
me
processing
from the
that.
streets.
Like
You feel what I'm
you
saying?
got 19 years and you got out of jail to go.
It's so bad that it's like the feds don't mind for you to trade
Information for favors.
for favors for like you can trade if you know information, you can get out of jail. You're the criminal. You have a
Right.
longer rap sheet.
And you're a criminal, so you could be lying about this information, right?
It's like
Like it doesn't make
it's
sense.
no solid information that you have. Like if
Right.
this is how you know they don't have any solid information. These are the two lead investigators, Beaver and I think I forgot the other guys. Right?
Mhm.
You guys are the two lead investigators. You get on the stand and you say, "Have you seen Mr. Cooper sell any marijuana?" They say no. Have you seen Mr. Cooper in North Carolina ever? They say no. Have you seen Mr. Cooper at the bank laundering any money? No. We say no further questions. Both lead investigators of the whole 40 tons conspiracy. So we think like it's over. They are the only ones that saying anything. This is how you know how powerful the feds work. It's like the criminal, the only person that you
Mhm.
have any information. The
Wow.
lead investigator of the whole 40 tons conspiracy has
Right.
never seen Mr. Cooper commit any kind of crime.
And you're listening to a criminal and basing your. Okay.
So
That's crazy. Okay. And so the reason why when you brought up North Carolina, I was like that's when I started talking about our history is because so when you were living with us and you and my sister ended up going your separate ways, my daughter, obviously you would come back around and my still relationship with us, my daughter, my mom, come to my mom's house when you had the
your mom
girls.
help edit the first part of the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're excited. We are so excited because I'm telling you, I'm about to tell you what happened. We found out that you went to jail and got life, and that was the buzz on the street, right? After a while of not being in contact with one another. And my daughter, was like, we were hurt. We were crushed, and we didn't understand because we were like, North Carolina. So we were like, so we know how to go visit somebody at the county jail. We know how. We're like, county jail.
Your mom came and visit me in the county jail before. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So like, yeah, our limit is like state, the state penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? We don't know anything about the feds. And first of all, what was he doing? We had so many questions and nobody to really answer. And then we was looking for, oh boy, we were like, wait, what? It was just like all this stuff. And like my daughter, we were really hurt. Like I was crushed. And that goes back to my negative thinking or not being grounded as much in my faith at that time, because I was just like, he's gone. Like we were just devastated. My daughter was like, well, can we go visit him? And I'm like, well, I don't even know what to do. Like I'm Googling. I mean, well, I don't even have, they had Google at that time, but I'm like looking at everything I can to try to figure out how to figure out. And then it was kind of like, you know, life kept going and we just were defeated in that area and lost touch with everybody. I'm sure a lot of those guys that used to be around that time was, you know, who knows where they are now. But I tell you what, we used to have the block. My neighbors used to be like, oh, what do you guys do? I mean, we used to have like,
it was like a car show. Like we had a car show on the corner.
I mean, Benzes and everybody. I was just like, it was a lot going on around that time, and it was, you know, it was fun times. And I know why you know, like to have fun, because you just like to have fun, and that's what I love about you. You always like to have fun, just a stand-up person. And even though, you know, we were in the street life or whatever, that's how we grew up, right? And especially you on the other side of town, on the, what was it, like the east side? You know,
I had to stand up for the east side. Dudes on the west side.
Man, we was on the west side, but y'all was our introduction to the east side. You know, so you know, it was just like a time where the era was, we was just fly, was flagrant, was out.
That's kind of what I want to bring out in the book, because it's kind of like you don't see that. Like even if I was like from out of town right now. And no disrespect to Snowfall or no disrespect to Boys in the Hood or no disrespect to Men's Society, but we're looked at in one way. Like I don't know, maybe more anything. Like I don't know one TV show or movie that I can cut on and show LA in that life of like the '90s fly, and people had like I had been at 19, like you know what I'm saying, like a representation of it. Like everybody didn't have a logo. You know what I mean? Some people like Benzes and Lexuses.
Right, and like Lamborghinis and Porsches and like.
I'm like, well, where are them guys at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out.
I'm like, I'm going with them.
I'm trying to figure out why that's not shown. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I think the closest one was Menace to Society. That kind of was the. I'm not saying
they still were kind of like gang banged out.
They were more on the gang banged out tip. You're right. So you're
like it was still D's, and it wasn't like it wasn't like like I want to see LA projected in a way that made me even want to hustle, or made me want to get in the streets,
Right. And I know a lot of people look at me and they like, oh, she fancy. I've been called fancy. I've been called extravagant, and I've been called like expensive, but not in complimentary ways. Like, and I'm just like, this is my brother right here. When we show up, we like to show up, and it's just natural and normal, But yeah, so we was like devastated for real. And I know you don't know that because you were gone and we couldn't even tell you that. And then years went by. And then we're just like, wow, and it kind of just got quiet. And, I was really hurt. We were really hurt. So what people don't understand is why we're so excited and why my mom is editing that book and why she was down there at the county jail when you did go back in the day is because like we really, we were like.
We're like family.
Not only were we like family and we are like family, but this guy right here does not match up with life in jail. It was just like, what? Him? I mean, even everybody you talked to, they were like, not him, because you just weren't that type of person. Even though all this was going on and you were in the life in the street, you were always a good person. That's why you were out there trying to help and tell on yourself because you're just, always just a great person to be around. Good energy, smiling, giving, you know what I'm saying? And just fly and just all that. So it meant so much to see you get out. And just hear that. That was a miracle. And then Donald Trump, all the people, like a what? Like we done had all this going on, the pandemics, you know what I mean, and all this, and then he pardoned you at the last,
2 minutes,
the last 2 minutes.
And wrote me a letter and still kept in contact. I got a letter from him at the house. Yeah.
So you have a letter from him?
Yeah.
Can we see the letter?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Look, this is the letter. This is going to be the letter. This is the letter right here. This is the letter signed by Donald Trump to Corvain Cooper. Who gets that? And then wasn't it something more too with the daughter?
Oh yeah, because Ivanka.
Because I have a pair of her shoes, so I need to know about this.
Okay, well Ivanka, she was kind of like she liked it that he had daughters, I had daughters. Like she told my mom, she called my mom. She was the one who's actually broke the news.
Wow.
So she called my mom like, "Oh, we're getting them out." Like, boom. So
when you were about to get,
she wrote me a letter too. Or... I got a letter. I got a letter from Ivanka.
Okay, then we got to see the Ivanka Trump letter. Yeah. Let's look at it. Yeah. Okay, we got to see that. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. And
what was so dope about the letter was the letter came like in April, right? So like really in April, you guys are really not the president anymore.
Right. So they didn't have to write no more letters.
You don't have to write no letters.
Were done with
you don't have to. You're done with your job. You're not the president of the United States anymore. Right. You're not in the office anymore. So what do you even care about little East Side ghetto old me?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I think that's what made it a lot doper. It'd be like if you did it on that day, it was kind of like on that day, yeah.
Right. But you like
the letter
acclimating, and then like, oh, a letter.
And you had to like find my address and send it. Like came to my house. You feel what I'm saying? So that's like dope. I think that was like, really dope.
It probably wasn't hard for them to get your address because they
like
no,
it's not. No.
Give me Corvain Cooper's address. Give me Lakeisha Johnson's address.
yeah. I just think it was dope because it was after.
Yeah, that is. So tell us. I just have so much to talk to you about, but tell us about the experience, because I know that as you were fighting too, because you were trying to go for clemency, the attorney, like tell me how all that works when you even find out about this is a possibility. Like what was going on with all this?
Well, really, what makes it more scarier is that Trump was going through some shit. You feel what I'm saying? So during the time I got one of my biggest push, because I got shut down from the Obama administration, right? So
wait, you got shut down?
Yeah, I tried it with the Obama administration.
What do you do? How do you try it?
You fill out and then you get your so shout out to all the people that like signed the change.org. I had over 158,000 signatures.
I signed it, I shared it.
What happened was the Nas thing really helped a lot because I went from 50,000 signatures to 100,000. Right. So like the BET thing.
The documentary.
Nas did the documentary for me while I was in there. I did Complex. I did National Geographic. I was on Netflix, Business of Drug, episode 5.
How did you accomplish that? That was in jail?
I was just pushing, trying to make the case.
You was just
I never been on a what do you call this thing? Social media. So I started the social media thing to like bring light to my case, and people were they didn't know that people were serving life for jail. So I was trying to like, let's be loud. So shout out to my attorney. He the one started to change.org. He was like, I ain't gonna be quiet. I'm not want no money. He originated my change.org.
Right, he started to change.org
and got me 40 to 50,000 signatures. That's on his own, pressing my case in New York.
So your attorney started to change.org. That's of note.
Patrick McGurl, So
shout out.
And then he just kept like, I'm gonna get you home, bro. I'm gonna get you home. And he really did. And he came and picked me up and took me to my mom.
Wow.
So like, that was dope.
Oh wow. So when you tried it with the Obama administration, it didn't go through.
Right. So you can only really do this when the president is going out of office.
I was going to ask you, do they do that? Because I didn't even know.
They don't really do it like in the middle. They do maybe 1 or 2 if you're lucky, but it's really when the president goes out of office. So like, let's say Biden does 8 years. You're waiting 8 years just to get a lottery.
I see. Okay.
It's already hard enough just to win lottery.
So you didn't make it with Obama. He was out. And then
so now I got to try with Trump. But the person that I'm trying it with and that I have my biggest push with and that I have accomplished so much with, right, where I got to push where people are knowing my name, he's in trouble. He's going through shit. So that's what kind of makes me like Trump more, because he was about to go to jail. He's storming the Capitol. He's not doing his taxes. He's not, so like to see a lot of darks on him and to still think about me, because you just lost the thing and said that they cheated you out of your votes. And after you lost that and after you win all of that, you still give a fuck about signing us a little paper about me. You know what I mean? So like, I fuck with him.
Have you ever talked to him?
I haven't talked to him. And then this what makes me sort of really mad. We was doing an interview one day, right? So when I came out, I was doing a lot of interviews. We were trying to do a little press for that's when I had a publicist. We was really working. And we had the 2 missed calls, and we get back to the phone. To this POTUS. Oh my God!
POTUS blew you up. He called you not 1 time, twice.
I was just really
blowing you up.
I was really sick about
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah,
I know you were.
Yeah.
I know you were.
Because like you can't call back, and it wasn't what's called, but it'll say POTUS, missed call from POTUS.
Donald Trump, if you're watching, call Corvain, because you're going through something now. He might could lift you up, and we just want to talk. We just want to talk to you.
Free Trump.
Free Trump already. You know, because it would be a good conversation to have, just to understand what his train of thought was behind doing that while he was going through all that stuff, or what led him. You know, I don't know if it was his daughter or whoever was, you know, in his ear, or how that went. That was dope. Yeah. So because I love the story and I've already heard it, I gotta have you tell about the countdown when you about to find out that you're gonna get out, because you in there, you didn't apply and did what you had to do. How did you find out?
I think the countdown is more like it's like it's really crazy, because at the time it's 11:30, so 11:30. Just to bring you there, to bring you to the scene, we're on lockdown. We've been on lockdown for 3 months. I don't have no haircut. I got a big ass beard. It's just bad right now. We've been on lockdown 3-4 months.
In North Carolina still?
No, I'm in Louisiana.
Oh, you didn't went to? Okay.
I went to Pollock. Pollock is serious, right? Oh. So when you on lockdown, you cannot. You got to look at the TV through the door, so it's like this big, and you can hear it. Like we got the our Walkman on, so you can hear it. So I'm listening to NPR. NPR tells the names every 30 minutes, new names of Clemency's. Okay. This is on his last day in office. Okay. So as you're listening to the names, you're like, oh, okay, I hear Harry-O. You feel what I'm saying?
Harry-O, shout out to Harry-O.
I'm like, I'm hearing it going down. I'm like, ooh, it's going down. It's cracking. Wow. Right. So at 11:30, you still haven't said my name. They said all the names. So you kind of crushed all the names of people that's got clemency. Like 49 at 12 o'clock. At this point. At 12 o'clock, he's not going to be president anymore.
And it's 11:30.
11:30. NPR hasn't said my name yet, right? So I'm calling down saying like, "Damn, you see my name on the bottom of the ticker?" So CNN is doing the names of people that got the clemency, but you need to be on the bottom tier so you can see the TV. They're like, "No, bro, your name ain't on there yet."
And you can't see it because you're looking through the whole thing.
Through the wall, through the thing.
Okay.
So you're kind of crushed because, I mean, when am I going to get a push this big again, too? Not only, you feel what I'm saying? Right. Now you got to depend on the next president.
And when he's done.
And you got to have a push of this magnitude. I'm getting letters from all around the world. What's it called? It's like, it's crazy. Right. Like, when are you going to make it, be in jail and just make it to BET?
This ain't the time. When is the time?
This ain't the time. I don't know when the time. You're going to make it to BET. You're going to make it to National Geographic. You got to make it to all these things first, right? I hear this story, y'all. So now the morning has come. I'll never forget this dude Marquise. So Marquise from DC, he scream out my cell. We go to showers. You got to put your hand through the tray slot and get handcuffed to go to the showers. So when you get your handcuffed to go to the showers, you go down. Boom. So you go take the shower. They like, man, put your head up, bro. Like, you know, they probably do the paperwork.
So y'all taking showers in the middle of the time when they calling out the clemency? Like,
no, it's already like 6:37. It's over. When you look to the left, Trump is getting on a helicopter. So the TVs
and they
are like
still haven't called your name?
No. Trump is getting on a helicopter and Biden is getting inaugurated. So you got this. So now I'm kind of like,
I didn't hear
you got to get adjusted to like, damn, I'm really finna be in this motherfucker for real. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, over. Damn, like it's over. You feel what I'm saying? So we come back from the shower. When we come back from the shower, I'm probably in the cell maybe like, I'll say like 30 minutes. You feel what I'm saying? 30 minutes. So they say, CO on the range, counselor on the range. Now, mind me, they barely give a fuck about you to give you some pieces of paper. Why is the counselor on the range? You feel what I'm saying? Right. So counselor on the range mean they walking. Okay. They walking towards you, bro. They walking towards the set.
Wait, what is a counselor?
The counselor is your counselor. That's who your paperwork's going to go to.
They don't normally come on the range. Okay. At this time.
At this time. We're on lockdown. We're just dead fucking showers. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Like, what's going on?
They're not going to come on the range right now.
Okay.
He locked it. He put the key in the door. Mine, we just had to get handcuffed to take a shower. So anything with key in the door, that's a breach of security we're on a high risk lockdown. You feel what I'm saying?
This is not protocol.
This is not. You can't open the door unless we're handcuffed. You can open the door. We can't even take a shower unless you're handcuffed. Right. So he opens the door. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody it's like the whole jail got quiet. You feel what I'm saying? So then he opened the door and shit, like, man, you got 5 minutes, pack your shit up. Like, you're getting out of here. You feel what I'm saying?
You're like, huh?
So, like, no, it's not no huh.
You
like,
knew?
I'm getting the fuck out of
know?
here. No. He's telling you this. You're like, okay, you gonna get the chills. You're gonna start I walk by everybody's door and tell them to walk by faith, not by sight. You feel what I'm saying? And just start passing.
Woo, hallelujah.
And I was just,
oh my God.
After that, it was like,
walk
my mom, I called my mom. She's like, Ivanka called her. That's when she told me about Ivanka call. So like, what you crying for? Like, Ivanka already called me that you coming home. You feel me? So that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? And my boy Ant was out there. We started working immediately.
Wow,
so
immediately.
Immediately.
You've been working immediately.
Yeah.
That's evident. I've seen you everywhere with everybody. I went on social media. I saw you with all kind of different people, white people, and I love white people, but I was just like, Corvain from the east side is with all the old white ladies, all white men, young white men, black men with dreads, black men with suits. Like, you've been everywhere doing everything. You're at balls, galas, conferences, interviews. I'm like, wow, like, and rightfully so, because it really started with that news clip that I saw. And I was in tears. I don't know who wasn't in tears.
We own that now. We own that clip.
That clip? When you were right here around the corner when you got to...
81st. Yeah. So we bought... We ended up trademarking it. We own, I think, 19 trademarks now. But we bought that Clemency is better than the lottery.
Clemency is better than the lottery. I don't know who had a dry eye.
This is Corvain Cooper now. Free, at home. Finally able to hug his 15 and 11-year-old daughters.
This is a miracle. It really is a miracle. And Donald Trump, I mean, the way it happened, everything was just so crazy. And then how you tell me how you even found out when he was already on the helicopter and Biden was on his way out. Like, who would have ever thought? Like, God really showed you, like, it don't matter what it looked like. So when you were looking at the list and you saw Harry O on there, you felt like you had a good fighting chance after that? Yeah,
because it's like, first of all, him and my dad used to hustle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was dope. But what was even doper about it was like, okay, that's building up my chance. Like, if somebody you know, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
did y'all have like
Lil
the
Wayne
same...
and what's called? But we had
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne got his part into it.
Lil Wayne was in there?
He just didn't have to go. Remember, he was about to have to do 10 years for that gun.
And
then
so
they was mad that he wore that Trump hat. They can stop you from even going.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why I'm like, when did Lil Wayne go?
Trump said, okay, so if you go back to like,
okay,
it's another thing that made my case popular. I was on front cover of New York Times, December 29th. My attorney got at Trump like, you're gonna let your friends out and leave Corvain Cooper in there, right? So that helped make the case big because he had just let all his friends out. Remember, everybody that went to trial, that fought those cases with Trump, that was quiet, that didn't snitch, he went and got all of them. They all got out. All right, so that was like the end of December. So
right, I kind of recall that.
So that kind of helped too. So it was like,
oh, they were like, oh, so you're gonna let your friends out? Believe your
That's what my attorney said, but it made the front cover of New York Times, right? So when I get that, I'm like, oh, this is a push. We pushing. So we're pushing.
Wow,
but
that was a good
the more
move.
we're pushing, the more he going through shit. You feel what I'm saying?
But that was a good move.
Yeah, no, that was a big move. And plus, he's a New York. He asked Trump to pardon me or Clemency as him being a New York citizen. Trump's from New York. This sort of thing. He was asking.
We got that in common
on that type of thing. Like I'm not asking. That he's asking for. Right. So that was dope. But to say what me and Harry had in common was Weldon Angelos. So Weldon Angelos helped both of us. Alice Johnson. Alice Johnson is the one who Brittany Barnett helped get out. That Kim Kardashian got all the credit for.
Right, I remember
that was on the jet with Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got to go to the debates and everything with Trump. Alice Johnson got to experience all that. So then
I remember
we did our first interview actually. I came on me, Weldon, Alice Johnson, and Harry O. We did Weldon owns the footage sets. I don't know Weldon, where's the interview at? I haven't
Can we
seen
see
it.
the interview, Weldon?
It was a nice interview though. They rented this big old mansion in Brentwood. It was
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Next time, invite me to stuff like that. When he got out, what did I tell you? I was like, do I need to get my
You actually took me to get my license. Remember, you took me to get my license.
I remember. Yeah. He was getting you. Yeah, you had to get your license, everything, get it all back. Wow. So that's good to know because I watched Alice Johnson on the TV because I follow the Kardashians, obviously, who doesn't? And I saw how they did that with her, and I was like, wow, that's a phenomenal story. So shout out to you, Alice Johnson, and then just
Alice Johnson up getting her dude out and everything. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it was the commitment that she had to the people that were still there is amazing. So I would love to meet her one day. Maybe you could bring her on here. I'll interview her and so okay. How has this? I know you said you had faith the whole time, and that your grandmother instilled that into you. How did this experience increase your faith, or change your faith, or how did it affect your faith?
I think it made it stronger. Like, because now it's like, I think I can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like nothing I can do. I just think of shit to do now. Because, like, now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I got a bank. God's my bank. You know what I mean? And he's rich, and I can just do whatever I want to do. I just ask him for what I want to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and he can make it happen. So I think, like, once you see the power of God and see, like, you can utilize them way better, but you got to know how to utilize them. And you have to, like, know how to work, know how to. He really wants you to depend on him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when he sees that you're dependent on him, it's like, it's kind of crazy. Like, you can kind of just do whatever you want. Like, sometimes I just be like, I want that too. Like, I was like, like they got it's like a new Maserati, right? It's like 300,000. Like, I want the 300,000.
Like, why can't I have
But it's
that?
like, I don't think it's not a thought in my mind that I'm not getting it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like crazy. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, he just allows you to do it because you have to walk by faith and not by sight, for real. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that and reiterating that for me, because that's something I've been walking in and been trying to walk in, and all the crap I've been through. I definitely have tapped into a deeper faith. I'm like,
but he knows. It's like he knows when you're not betting on him, or when you're not, like, you know what I mean, like when you try to think that you're gonna do it yourself and you're not really betting on him, like. You have to really, 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 really bet on them, like, and really, like, I know it's bad, I know it looks ugly, but I swear it's like, you think Curry be hitting shit from half court? He go, woo, God, go crazy for threes. Like, he's serious.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. But when you were there, did you like read the word, or did you just like go to like? Were there support in there for?
You can go to church, so they got church in there. So I would go to church every Sunday, and I would like lead by example. Like, I made it cool to go to church. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, you think I'm cool? All right, well, you gotta follow me here since you think I'm so fucking cool. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I would do different stuff to, like, make it cool. Then, like, I want to write an autobiography, which I wrote, which is a 3-part series. I needed to read everybody else's. Right. So I've read over 1,000 books. Right. I've read everyone's autobiography from Mandela all the way to Angie Martinez or whoever. Mike Tyson has I think probably one of him and Bobby Brown might have some of the best that I've read. Right. Because I don't like reading your autobiography if you just don't have no blemishes. Just your life was perfect. I don't think we don't need to read. I don't. You know, lying. It's like basically lying. Nothing happened in your life.
Life is
you know what I mean?
It's perfect.
Yeah. You know, some people got a perfect autobiography. Yeah, like it's just crazy. So, like,
I'm not like,
you know, but Mike Tyson and Bobby Brown has some terrific books.
And I bet they do, because I watched Mike Tyson's documentary.
Yeah, it's dope.
Woo. Yeah. Wow.
So you got to look out for that. Right now, we're in the process of I did a deal with me and JoJo Simmons. We're in the process of getting the docu-series out. Right, so we're going to start with the docu-series. Same thing BMF for everybody else did. They start with the docu-series first. Right. You sell that, then you can go further on and try to get a real series going on, so I can bring LA back. I want to bring it back.
Yeah, you know? Bring LA back, because we was out there. We was on the map.
I want us
to still back. Probably on the map to a lot of places, but like the way, man, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I'm so glad you're back on these streets to make it happen. You know, I want to ask you, so who is Brittany Barnett to you?
That's my sis. That's my sister.
How
So
was she involved in your process?
very big, and she used to call and still like Brittany's like a real person, like so she
Mm-hmm.
really checks on you and really calls the prison and make them pull you out the cell. If you don't like that, they gonna pull you out the cell to
For
talk to
her.
Brittany. You feel what I'm
So
saying?
because I could see
Like
that she's
she
a
can
boss.
call you. No, she's
So
a
I
boss.
wanted to know more about her because I would see her.
And then people need to read her book too. Her book,
Okay.
Knock at Midnight. You feel what I'm saying?
Knock
like
at Midnight.
It's
Yeah.
because she got everybody out. So she's probably gotten over 57 people home from life sentences.
Right.
Meet Corey Jacobs, that's Puffy's advisor. So he had 16 life sentences. Her
Wow.
dude had like 2. But yeah, she got Alice Johnson and a lot of other people. But she's just
Great.
like
That's a great.
she gave us actually the money to start for it. So she believed in me with the life sentence.
Right.
So to get the trademarks and to get everything done as far as the paperwork side was about 20 grand. So I gave her the vision for 40 tons, right? With life. I have life, but I'm giving her the vision. I told her, but I got a partner on the street, Anthony, but that can help run it and start the business.
Right.
While
Shout out
I'm in
to
prison.
Anthony. He been doing it.
Yeah.
He
He
been
be
doing
working.
it big.
Yeah, he be
Anthony
working.
is the man.
So
yeah.
I called Anthony. I
Uh-huh.
signed over my I signed my what do you call it? Let me sign this shit. Power of attorney. I gave him my power of attorney. So she's like, all right, boom, I'm saying Anthony the 20. I still got life. I'm still not supposed to come home. She still believed in 40 tons and gave me the 20 grand from in jail.
Wow.
Right. So I got the 20 grand and we ain't looked back since.
Shout out to Brittany K. Barnett.
Yeah.
You're a boss. I've been watching you. I see you. Hopefully you'll come to here and talk with me also one day. But you and all of the people in this movement, I've been watching the whole thing. So now that we understand a little bit more about 40 tons, tell us like really where it came from, what it means, what you're doing with it.
So it's kind of like you're turning like a minus into a plus, right? So like 40 tons, I had to wake up to a newspaper clipping of California man sentenced for 40 tons of marijuana. So people do their history. It's like I went to trial October 13th, 2013. And so I went to trial and we lost at trial. And I woke up to that newspaper clipping every day. It was like in North Carolina, it was like the biggest thing.
When you got your sentence and everything.
Right. So, but it was front page of the newspaper. So I kept that clipping. Right. So what happened was one day they had like a little riot in prison. So I used to be taped to my thing. So when police come, they kind of like fuck your shit up. Like they kind of take all your like shit that means something to you. They fuck that part up. Right. So they took the newspaper clipping. And it don't mean nothing to them, but it meant something to me.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, all right, I know what I'm gonna do now. It was like I got to do something with that. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, at first, me and Aunt or Elvis was going through like a lot of. It was like, nah, that's like a slap in the face. Like we can't call the company that. I'm like, no, man, we're calling the company that. Like that's what it is. It's like I said, all the brands really are not authentic. I said I want to bring something to the cannabis culture that was real, that really this is something that really happened that was a part of history that you can look up.
Which is, to be specific again, the 40 tons was
the
what
amount,
the case
was the amount of marijuana that I was charged with.
Right. So charged for moving the conspiracy to move 40 tons of marijuana, which you put the clipping on your over in your cell and they took it down, which is really interesting because had they not done that, 40 tons wouldn't have been birthed in that way.
Right. I wouldn't have been so mad where it was like, where I'm mad where I have to put it in your face.
Right.
Like,
Put it in your face.
I want to build a brand that's global, worldwide, the same way that you use my name for bad. I want you to flip it and use it for good. So I want 40 Tons Foundation to be one of the biggest foundations. I want 40 Tons Publishing. We're getting the paperwork started right now for 40 Tons Publishing. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with my book, and then we're going to find all the people around prison, right? And then we're going to have, it's like how people sign these 360 deals, like how they're artists. Like we're going to let you sign to 40 Tons Publishing, and we're going to get funded for get your first book started because they have some nice writers that are in there. So we're going to find the best writers that are in prison, and they're going to put their books out under 40 Tons Publishing. And we're going to try to get someone in all the prisons around the world to tell their stories.
That's going to be dope. Definitely dope. The stories need to be told.
They're going to be all authors. Yeah, all authors that are in prison.
Right. Just like when Eric, my nephew, got into trouble, you were one of the first people to call him and just let him know, like, this is what can happen, and this is what's out there, and this is what you don't do, and this is what you need to do because you've experienced it, and that's why these stories need to be told. And also for your guys in behind the bars, their stories need to be told so they can be humanized, so we can know what we got to do to fight to get them out. These are fathers, husbands, sons, people that need to be reunited back into society because crime it's not worth the time, but also not even a nonviolent crime. It's actually a crime that people are literally making legal money off of.
It's on the
Marijuana
it's on the stock market.
It's on the stock market. You can buy marijuana stocks today, invest in them, make money with them, get a license to sell it, open up a dispensary right now while these men are behind bars for doing something similar. And maybe, you get a little time of probation, get time, but come on, like 9 years you were there? 9 years, life? Come on. That's not okay. What would you tell someone, what would you tell your younger self if you knew then what you know now?
Oh, that first of all, everybody that say your friend is not your friend. You know what I mean? Like, that's number one. You know what I mean? So, like, it's really, really difficult because, like, like you said earlier, it's like it's hard to even become this mature or come to this place in life or even have a story to tell or even be able to, because you can't really play with how God's playing and how he's going to plan it out, right? Let's just say your mom wants you to, like my mom always, she sent me to Hollywood, sent me to all these performing arts schools. Like she wanted me to act and I want the bullshit. You know what I mean?
I can see why she did that.
But I'm like, she sent me to, to school with Brandy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when she was on theater, so they're sending you through all these things, but that's not in God's plan. So it's God's plan in order for me to be on TV or for me to be able to, he had to take me through all these things. So it's like you still kind of get your dream. You feel what I'm saying? Like you still wanted me to be on TV, but I had to go another route. You feel what I'm saying? So like you can't really, adjust your life on the way that you want it to go because that's not in his plan. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, so you can't really change it. But what I would tell my younger self, besides the friends, it's just like, like just make sure that anything that you do, make sure that it's worth it. You feel what I'm saying? Like make sure it's worth it and make sure that, like you just have to really take one step at a time in life. Like you really got to think that if there's any kind of difficult decision that you're going to make, really, really think it through first before you just like do it. You feel what I'm saying? Because like once you do it, it's done.
Right. And I think to know whether it's worth it or not, you have to consider the consequences. And I think that one thing about these kids today, and maybe we were like that too. We were like that too.
Yeah. I didn't really care about no consequences.
I have to remind myself that you were like that too.
Yeah, I was pretty bad. And they're gonna read about it in the story. See, this is another thing that I want people to do too. Like, so when you do go get the book, right? So I don't care. I just don't want nobody to judge me after they read the first book.
Right.
That was me 20 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't just judge. It's a series. It's part one. I'm not going to tell you the whole story in one token. You know what I mean? You're going to have to buy the series and you're going to have to learn. And you're going to have to see how I got here. Right. So I want you to go through my ups and downs. I want you to go through my bad stages in life. You feel what I'm saying? And I want you to see, how did I get here and how did I get mature?
Absolutely.
You just don't get mature overnight.
Absolutely. Don't write anybody off because of how they are, because God has a bigger plan than you could ever imagine. You can have plans all day long, but it's really God's plan at the end of the day. I love the story. It's a miracle. God really smiled on you. God really smiled on you, and it touched so many people just so far. And the best is yet to come, right? But like just so far, your story has blessed so many people, and just I'm sure like the message about faith and it's just infectious. So that being said, what I want to know is how can we support you?
You can go to 40tons.co right now. You can go to the website and you can go to 40 Tons brand on Instagram. Okay. You go to Corvain Cooper on Instagram. Just learn. I want you to learn more, right? I don't want you to just jump in. I want you to if you scroll all the way down, see my journey and when I got out to where I am now.
Okay.
See 40 Tons journey, see the brand that we have built, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to 40tons.co and then you get to see the website, right? Then you get to see like the things that we have going. You get to see our foundation, you get to see the book, you get to see this.
Right.
You get to see that prisoners that we advocate for have their own business within our business. So as we get bigger as a unit, you're going to be able to get, if you're wearing their t-shirt, you can promote them, and then that money goes straight to their book. We don't want any money from that.
Right, 40
tons.
You know
what I'm saying? 40 tons.
T-shirt.
If you wear one of their t-shirts, like I say, this is this guy right here. So we pass out these now. So
okay, tell us about this.
Pedro, he's currently serving life, right?
Okay.
So we have 12 people that we're currently advocating for right now, right? So we got 10,000 of these. Hopefully one day we can be able to afford 100,000 of these so we can pass these out around the world and get 1 million of these. So these can be on 1 million coffee tables around the world, right? So we can understand, once you skew this, you can understand and read about all the people that are locked away in prison today for marijuana. So we just want to bring, first of all,
mine,
awareness.
Right? That's mine.
That's yours. You can have it.
So this I get to have. I'm so excited.
So when anybody comes over and smoke,
right.
they're going to say, well, who's that guy? And they're going to scan it. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to learn. You know,
y'all got to
smoke
outside if you come over here. But I have a nice outdoor table that you can put this on. But I'm going to use this for some different things. I might even put my jewelry on here, put my champagne stand on here. This is nice. Wow. Free Pedro Moreno. Yeah. Is this someone that you know? Personally?
I don't personally know him. I've talked to him a few times, but I don't personally know him.
Right. But he's an individual that needs to
get out and get on to his family.
And get on.
You know.
Yeah.
These are some people that have been locked down.
You can tell that he's an older man, so obviously, come on. Can we move on with our life now?
Yeah. Come on, Biden.
So we can support you by, this is for sale?
No, we give those away.
So we're giving these away.
Yeah.
We have the 40 Tons t-shirts.
Yeah.
We have, what else we got?
The book is coming out soon. So I'm hopefully to get the book out November 2nd is our goal, right? To get the book out. So
look into my eyes.
Yeah, so look into my eyes is going to be a page turner.
And I think people need to know about Anthony too. Like Anthony's a big deal.
Yeah,
Anthony's been keeping this whole thing going while you've been away, and I'm so impressed with him. We've been knowing each other since we were kids. Yeah. Anthony, everything. So his wife, I see her out there working.
Yeah, she's working now. Yeah.
And not only should people go in and look and learn, but I think people should be open minded because a lot of people are against cannabis because of the stigma. And so. What do you have to say to that? Like,
right now we're planning Canna Christmas. So Canna Christmas is like thing that we do for the people that are locked up, so we can make sure that their families have a good Christmas. Make sure that like they have their light bills paid. And so what we do is we put a tree up, right? So the money that you donate, it'll be like a leaf on there, and you can say $50 towards the phone bill or $50 towards the light bill because Pedro's gone. His family still has bills. Right. So what we do, we raised $9,000 last year. Hopefully we'll triple that and at least raise $30,000 this year. Okay. Right. That's our goal.
Where does this take place?
So we've looked at a few venues. We did
in
it
LA,
downtown.
Though.
Yeah, it's going to be in LA. And then what we do is we raise money and awareness, and the whole key thing is to it started with Mickey Martin. Mickey Martin had a thing called Parents for Pot. When I was locked up, right? And I was like, damn, that was just dope. He wrote me. And then he was like, just tell me everything your kids want and don't be shy, right? So the Christmas came around, like Scotland wanted this big truck and Clear wanted this or laptop. I forgot exactly what it was, but it came up to like $1,500 a kid. You feel what I'm saying? That he spent. He spent like $3,000.
Right.
I'm in jail. Somebody that I've never met. He ended up dying. So rest in peace. Mickey Martin and his family is trying to keep it going, but they had a thing called Parents for Pot, and I was like, I got to do that. Like that was just too dope. Like somebody just write you a letter and ask you what your kids want for Christmas. Like
what a blessing, so somebody cares.
So it's like I want it to be dope. You feel what I'm saying? Like to me, that was like dope, and I was like, damn, that's if I'm gonna have a brand, I should have to stand for something like that.
I like the money on the Christmas tree idea too. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so we put gas bill, we put lights, what's it called.
So you found any ways to give back,
That's the first thing that you have to do, because if not, then it's like you're just another person with a package, with a brand that's just what are you standing for.
Right. Is there anything you're doing on the outside of the community, like on the outside of the bars, to give back to the community since you've been out? In what ways? I think I saw something you were working with the kids on some.
Oh yeah, the kids around the corner on
Education.
74th Street. We gave out stuff for Christmas. You know, man, and we gave out just every year we try to
Do something.
do something,
What
right?
about
At least, but it's only so much we can do because it's only us,
Right.
right? So like when people see 40 tons, it's just me, Anthony, and L'Oreal. It's not. We don't have this big team behind us. You feel what I'm saying? So we're
That big
putting out
presence. Yeah.
much as that we can do. You know, when
Right.
you go into these cities, you know, if your travel's not booked, you have to
Right.
pay. You know,
Right.
it's
Right.
$2,600 to get a room and board to
Exactly.
go to New York tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? So like,
Exactly. So
you
we're
know,
gonna find ways off camera to help support 40 tons and what you're doing for the men on the inside, for their families. I think I even saw you doing something with the kids for coding or something when you got
oh
out.
yeah, the coding for the
I was
kids was
impressed by
dope. But
that.
that was dope. But we had to we needed to keep that going. The coding for the kids, I
Yeah.
liked it. The coding, and I met
We are gonna keep that going.
like a lot of dope people.
Hmm. So you're knee deep in it, and so I appreciate just having this time. We definitely want to support 40 Tons. Please go check them out. I put up all their information where you can look them up on Instagram, and you got to get the book. Get the book. It's going to be a series, you said.
It's gonna be a series. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not just gonna just let you just get everything at once.
Right. Right.
Like, you gotta. It's a page turner for sure. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like for sure, it's a page turner. Even when we're going over the edit, we're like in a fifth edit right now. And we're gonna be doing another edit on the plane leave tonight. But I'm still amazed by some of this shit. Like, damn, I was doing that. Like, it still surprises me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I just thank God. I just thank God. And so I'm glad you're here. It is a miracle that you're sitting with me. And, you know, I'm wishing you all the best. And I'm going to work with you because we're going to keep these programs going for the kids and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only a three-man team, but
Yeah.
but we can get this done. And you know so many people. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen you on there with all the people. So you know what was that? Cheech and Chong or Tom?
Oh yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy, that's my guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is he with now? You know.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, that's
Tommy
a blessing.
fuck with me heavy.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the talk. I hope you enjoyed this time together with us. I sure did. And we're looking at a miracle right here. And I'm wishing you all many more miracles in your life. And remember, what was it? Faith?
No, walk by faith, not by sight.
Walk by faith, not by sight. That's it. That's all. Remember you used to say that? That's all. That's it. Was it? Remember I could never get it right?
Yeah.
What is it?
I forgot.
That's it. That's all.
That's all.
All right, y'all. Good night.